In this video, we're going to explore a couple of use cases from a candidate's perspective. Specifically, we're going to see how John, a data engineer in San Jose, upped his base salary from 150K to 200K. All right. So without further ado, let's jump into the platform and see how John used the platform to make an additional 50K. Before we jump into the platform, let's take a quick overview of what the Symmetrics platform is. It's a unique HR tech and analytics platform, unifying job seekers, recruiters, and employers. Uh, the problem it's trying to address is from the perspective of the interaction between three roles in the HR space, which is candidates, recruiters and staffers, and employers. From a candidate perspective, it's trying to make the whole experience of negotiating wages, looking for jobs, changing careers, much more smoother and comfortable experience. At the same time, from a recruiter and a staffing perspective, trying to build more loyalty by being the middle uh, entity between candidates and employers. And from an employer perspective, obviously to hire more talent, retain more talent, execute more projects, and so on and so forth. So Symmetrics platform helps all of the three roles in the HR space by bringing tech to the table. The vision and some of the main features of where Symmetric fits into, it's a benchmarking platform. It's a trustworthy benchmarking platforms. Feel free to go look up the website in terms of exploring why it is trustworthy. Helps accelerate talent access and mobility, and then it integrates with course providers, assessment platforms, and job boards. So feel free to go to the website, and for any other inquiries, please write back to us. All right, with that said, let's go back to what we are here for. We're going to explore how John, a data engineer in San Jose, upped his salary from his existing 150K to 200K. Okay. Um, this is the website for Symmetrics. You can always visit here and then sign up for free. Or if you already have an account, go ahead and log in. Once you log in, you're going to have a bunch of dashboards here. And in this specific use case, we are going to be using job title KPIs. All right. So you can switch the views between a grid view to a list view. I'm going to click the job title KPIs. And on the left, you see filters, which is a year filter and a job title that you can input. And on the right, you find a canvas wherein you have a tab wage KPI, which focuses on insights that give you measures about the wage. Then you have an approval KPI. Approval KPI mostly relates to the number of records we have from a perspective of immigrants who would like to uh, focus on this job title and learn various statistics and so on and so forth. Let's stick to wage KPI because our use case is how did John increase his base wage from 150K to 200K. So let's go ahead and select John's job title. In this case, it's a data engineer, and go ahead and apply the filters. And as soon as you apply the filter, John comes in and he first takes a look at the US map, and he hovers over each of the states to identify, the average wage for a data engineer. So in California, it's 153K. In Texas, it is 115K. Washington 119K. So being in San Jose, California, John is drawing 150K. So looking at this number, he feels okay. I'm not too far away from the average pay at the state level, but it doesn't end there. So he keeps scrolling down to identify, how popular his um, job, which is a data engineer, is. So you can see in the year 2022, there were about 383 employers who hired a data engineer. 37 states in the United States hired a data engineer. So you can see the popularity of it. And the number of cities that have hired is about 212. This is the wage trend overall for a data engineer from 2001 all the way till 2022. And you can see, more or less the wage keeps increasing, and that's a no-brainer because of the inflation, the popularity of data, and how it has become the new oil, and so on and so forth. And as you hover on each of these, you would find what's the lower wage and what's the upper wage. um, but let's keep scrolling down. In terms of the lower end of the wage, it can go anywhere till 220k. Now looking at this, John, whose salary is at 150k, is thinking, uh, there is definitely a scope wherein he could increase his salary. But then, let's see how it turns into an actionable data. From the upper wage, as he looks at again, he sees that it's about 220k. So there is definitely room for him to make more salary. Now he keeps scrolling down and he's looking at all of the employers that have hired um, data engineer in the year 2022, and he looks at the lower end of the wage, upper end of the wage. In this case, TikTok paid about 205k. The lower and upper being the same, meaning it reported a point value of the salary versus a range. And he looks at the average prevailing wage reported by the company when hiring for a data engineer, which is 162k. Now, this record definitely makes him feel that there is quite a bit of room for him to make money. Now, as you keep scrolling down, you can see all of these other values as well. These are numbers which are significantly higher than what John gets paid. But let's keep scrolling down and we'll come back and visit this. He looks at, okay, I live in California. What is the average salary in California? So as we have seen before, it's 153k, anywhere between 143 to 153k. So at the state level, the his salary looks okay, but as he keeps looking for specifics, let's look at cities, for example. He lives in San Jose, right? Let's see what is the average um, what is the average range of salary between 151 to 189. Now this definitely gives raises his ears in terms of, well, I make 150k, but the average salary for a data engineer in San Jose as a city uh, is about 151 to 180. So all of these suggest that he definitely needs to get paid higher, right? Um, Now, while these are averages, he also wanted to explore a couple of more metrics. So median is also one of the key metrics when looking at the salaries. So he looks at data engineer, he looks for San Jose again, right? And then he sees that the median wage can range anywhere between 134 to 215. And as a quick reminder, the median represents 50% of the people got paid higher than the median, and 50% of the people get paid below the median. So looking at the median and average, um, John thinks, well, there is definitely an opportunity for me to make more money. And so he goes back to the top employers hiring job title. He applied for the top 10 of them. He gave the interviews, and now he makes 200k. So that was a success story for John, who used Symmetrics platform to make an additional 50k um, just by using the informational dashboard, right? Now there are lots of other dashboards. For example, the symmetric reports have many categories. On the left side, you can see informational, what if, and goal based. Um, each of this has a maturity level in terms of the information and actionable uh, utilities that you can derive from each of these categories. Now, what if and goal based become more specific and action based. Now, in this case, John was able to use just an informational report and identify that he could make more salary, right? He just used the job title KPIs, which is an INF. As you can see, it's tagged with INF, which is informational report. So that's as simple as it gets in terms of how you can use uh, the informational job title KPIs, and you can follow John. You can select your own job title and start analyzing and getting paid more fairly from a candidate perspective. Thank you for watching this video.